Hi everyone! In this video, I'm going to show you what is ChatGPT. OpenAI's ChatGPT Explained. My name is Lauren, and this channel is all about showing you how to become a highly paid IT pro fast. Let's get started. ChatGPT is a fascinating tool that's taken media and social media by storm. In short, ChatGPT is a chatbot. If ChatGPT's story ended there, it wouldn't have built the hype it presently enjoys. It certainly wouldn't have 13 million users use it per day, with over 100 million users in its 2.5 months of existence. In this video, we'll dig into what ChatGPT is, what it isn't, and some tips for effective use. ChatGPT was developed by OpenAI in 2022 and launched for public test on November 30th, 2022. ChatGPT is a chatbot at its core. That idea is not new by any means. A chatbot at its highest level of abstraction is a computer program that can chat with a human providing prompts. Chatbots have been around for years, and any of you familiar with America Online in the 90s and early 2000s will remember just how terrible they were. While they've improved substantially since then, all have issues, like the fact that their conversational abilities are limited. Most can provide brief responses to generalized prompts, but their responses are limited in scope and, well, robotic. ChatGPT, however, is a chatbot with style. Unlike other prior chatbots, ChatGPT is able to hold a conversation and provide human-like and adaptable responses. The reason for this complexity, as OpenAI explains, is reinforcement learning from human feedback, RLHF, first introduced by OpenAI in 2017. The RLHF system used for ChatGPT differs slightly from the original proposed model, but those differences meaningfully improve ChatGPT's responsiveness. That RLHF system is broken into 3 steps. The ChatGPT dataset is used to provide prompts for human researchers who enact a two-sided conversation. These conversations are used to train the dataset and highlight desired outcomes. ChatGPT is provided sample prompts to which it responds. Those responses are scored based on quality in order to train a reward model, a model that will later be used to automatically rank quality results. The original RLHF model described by OpenAI begins at this step and omits the first step. The reward model is used to score output from proximal policy optimization, or PPO. The PPO algorithm describes the success or failure of a specific response in relation to prior responses. Success and failure are defined by the reward model. PPO drives success based on iterative training. The best way to drive that training is to get humans to interact with the model and gauge the success and failure of responses, say by making the model free to use. The best way to get humans to interact is to drive hype behind the solution. ChatGPT's limitations. News outlets have explained that ChatGPT will destabilize white-collar work or even eliminate certain white-collar jobs altogether. Articles like that highlight that the news organization either has never used ChatGPT or has an ulterior motive, like using salacious headlines to sell subscriptions. It's probably a mix of both, and ChatGPT's CEO has no shortage of dramatic proclamations about the future of AI. ChatGPT is groundbreaking. It's the most human-like chatbot in existence, but its output is to a human conversation like DALL-E's output is to art. It's not quite there yet, and there are glaring faults to overcome. DALL-E is an AI generative art model also developed by OpenAI. DALL-E is able to generate very stylistic art and photorealistic pictures. That being said, The more specific and realistic the prompt, the worse it performs. DALL-E, like most other AI generative art models, often gets human teeth, hands, feet, and appendages totally wrong. They look lifelike, not lifelike. They're a parody of the real thing. ChatGPT performs similarly. It can provide responses, and those responses can make you feel like you're talking to a human. But that's mostly because of ChatGPT's confidence. ChatGPT is an excellent liar, and it's a prolific liar. It has no depth of expertise in the areas in which it's being asked to speak. ChatGPT's PPO algorithm ideally will improve that, but the current feedback mechanism has no granularity. It's a thumbs up and thumbs down system, which applies both to the quality of the response and the quality of speech. Since the latter is better than the former, someone may be tempted to give a quality incorrect response a thumbs up. ChatGPT's confidence doesn't end there. When ChatGPT believes it understands a prompt, it will provide a response. That response may not actually be topical or responsive. ChatGPT makes an assumption of what's being requested and responds to that. For example, if asked, "How do you make a star?" ChatGPT assumed, for me at least, that I wanted to make crafts and not my own homemade tokamak. Asking it how to build a tokamak resulted in a generic list outlining the steps of how to build anything: design, development, building, testing, and use. It provided almost no information indicating it knew what a tokamak was. Where ChatGPT lacks confidence in its response, it will ask for clarification. That's typically only where it fails to understand a prompt at all. It doesn't happen often, but unclear questions may result in ChatGPT requesting clarification. ChatGPT also has a binary ethical system that identifies inappropriate questions based on the perceived illegality or disrespect of the outputs. ChatGPT isn't perfectly dedicated to its morals and can be cajoled into providing the desired responses. Maybe that reflects its provenance at the hand of OpenAI's questionable ethical practices in developing it. How to access ChatGPT. Accessing ChatGPT is a breeze, except when it's under heavy load. Go here and click Try ChatGPT, then create an account. Once you do so, if ChatGPT isn't under full utilization, you should be able to ask questions or start chatting. Most common use cases of ChatGPT. ChatGPT has many uses, all of which have been covered to some degree by social media or more traditional media outlets. One of the themes I'll highlight. A lot of these use cases are presently immature, meaning that they require some form of human intervention. Over time, with more input, the PPO algorithm will drive more accurate initial responses and eventually should largely obviate the need for human intervention. The potential is certainly there and just needs additional refinement. Writing. The most famous of those uses is the ability to write articles using ChatGPT. A consequence of the human-like and formal conversational chat engine is the ability to write human-passing materials. Note that I said human-passing. That was very intentional. Remember, not everything ChatGPT writes makes sense, and not all of it is accurate. It is very conversational and confident in its delivery. Despite what the media says about ChatGPT's aptitude for academic writing, it needs assistance and editing to create passable materials. With that editing, however, ChatGPT will create fantastic written materials in a fraction of the time of a creative writer, even with editing and fact-checking. Programming. ChatGPT is also a mediocre programmer that can create code that works with a little tweaking. I also linked to an article in the description area of this video that highlights how adept ChatGPT can be at developing malware. As with written materials, ChatGPT can help develop code in the fraction of the time of a human. With a little editing, that code will work. Translation. ChatGPT can also translate conversationally. That means that ChatGPT can provide a translation that is passable to convey the translated materials in the destination language. It's certainly a far cry from Google Translate, which still provides different translations when translating a phrase back and forth between two languages. Again, it's not perfect, but with some editing in the destination language, ChatGPT provides fairly competent translations in less time than a human. Customer support. ChatGPT has paid API integration that allows ChatGPT to act as a smarter website chatbot. Microsoft certainly believes in the technology and paid a princely sum to integrate ChatGPT into Bing and Teams. In those functions, ChatGPT provides conversational responses a la Siri, Alexa, or Google, and provides real-time transcription, respectively. Can ChatGPT replace Google Search? Not yet. The potential's definitely there, but ChatGPT is a poor search engine today. There are two main reasons for that. The first is that ChatGPT makes up responses and it assumes its response is correct. That means that either the information can be factually incorrect or the response can be mismatched from the subject of the query. ChatGPT is also notoriously bad at providing appropriate attribution, too. So you might not even get the appropriate website for your query. The second has to do with the fact that ChatGPT has no access to location services yet. When it does, you may be able to ask it questions like, "What's the best pizza place near me?" and have it respond accurately. Useful tips for ChatGPT use. Here are some tips to get the most out of your ChatGPT experience. Be clear with your prompt. The more ambiguity or room to guess, the less likely ChatGPT will provide you the response you want. Unless you want that ambiguity. Make sure you're reviewing ChatGPT's work. ChatGPT isn't at a place where you can largely set it and forget it. ChatGPT's output will need editing, fact-checking, and some amount of rework. Even with that work, content can be produced more quickly than a human working alone. Provide feedback. As cited in the article in the video description area, OpenAI paid African workers $2 per hour to refine ChatGPT's language model. They're not only paying you nothing per hour, but are asking $20 per hour for the privilege of refining the language model. However, if you want better ChatGPT responses in the future, providing your feedback is how that happens. ChatGPT is the next generation of chatbots. Its capabilities are very impressive. There's a lot it can do and emulate, and that's all thanks to its language learning model. There are some drawbacks to its work product today, but that's largely due to its novelty. Remember, what it can do today is a result of 6 months of training plus 2 months of public use. As more people use ChatGPT and provide feedback, it will improve substantially. As it stands, ChatGPT produces very usable work product, so long as you're willing to put in some editorial effort. Check out the video on the right for more content to help you develop your IT career.